Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you would like to get an awesome PC and you'd like to see it put together live, message today. Alrighty, so this morning we're doing a couple of things. So obviously we're going to do a quick follow-up on our one from last night because I have received the correct graphics cards. We can proceed with that. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is I got a couple of SSDs mixed up for a couple of customers, so I need to do an SSD swap. So someone's got a 500 gigabyte that should have had a 1 terabyte, and someone's got a 1 terabyte that should have been a 500 gigabyte. Yeah, human error. The boxes look the same until you read the words. So it's very easy to mistake one for the other, so I've obviously gotten them mixed up. But we're going to be using some software called Acronis True Image, and what that's going to allow us to do is I'm going to be able to make an exact copy of the SSD with the Windows install on it onto another drive, and then when I get the correct SSD I can actually just clone that back to the original, and then we'll be in a situation where we have the original install with all of the drivers and settings for that computer on the correct SSD, and we'll do the same thing for the customer when he brings his PC back. So fortunately for me, I hadn't shipped out one of the PCs that was involved in the mix-up, so I still had it here for other circumstances. So that really worked out pretty well, because it would have been a real pain if I had sent off SSDs in computers to down to Melbourne or something like that. I probably just would have paid for an upgraded SSD for the customer just not to deal with it. So I'm glad I avoided that. So like I was saying last night, we've got the RTX 2060 going in here. So the Asus Dual. Used a fair few of these recently. This is the re-released version of the 2060, because they originally retired all of the 20 series cards when 30 series came out, and then they decided to bring back the 2060. Alright, it wants to get out of this box. Here it is, our RTX 2060. Love to cover their cards in sticky. Even on the back. Even on the little logos on the fans. I feel like I'll forget something if I don't do a once over. Oh yeah, also on the back plate here. Out of all the sticky, this one on the back plate's the most important one to remove. Okay, so we can now just go and slot our 2060 in. Oh, no we can't. I've got a couple of bolts to remove. Now we can slot in our 2060. so now we've just got this graphics card cable to plug in. Okay, so that is all set up there. Just check the comments here. Hey everyone, how you going? Sorry, I'm flying solo this morning, so I'm going to be a bit late checking the comments. So hey Aiden, how you going? Good to have you with us. And Josh is like, hey, sup Tim? How you going, man? That's a big graphics card. Oh, I've seen bigger. Well, who else we got there? Hey Mick, how you going? Good to have you here this morning. Shouldn't you be at work or something, mate? Let's just share the screen here. Let me look behind the camera there. Okay. Alrighty, so you probably notice the screen resolution's off and stuff because we've got GT710 drivers installed. Is it going to automatically update? So how can we tell? We can go into Device Manager and we can check our display adapter and we can see NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060. That means the NVIDIA drivers have automatically selected the different card, so there is no action required here. So we can set up MSI Afterburner. Okay, so Control F11 to turn on the on-screen display and Control F12 to turn off the on-screen display. It's the same on everyone's computer. Okay, so there's a Windows code we need to enter. Huh. Now you can't see. Why not? Okay, let's have a look at some benchmarks here. Hey Fred, how you going? Josh asks, is there a way I can power on a tower without its power cable, Tim? You mean without a... You mean without like one of these that plugs into the power supply? Because you need to get electricity from the wall, alright? If you mean a power cable as in the power button cable, absolutely. Because the power button cable is just connected to two little pins on the motherboard, and when you press the button, all it does is push a little bit of metal down that makes contact between the two wires, and that circuit that gets created, that's the signal to turn the computer on. So if you just touch the two pins with the tip of the screwdriver, yeah, that'll be fine. Hang on, the screen might not be right. Yeah, like you're gonna need, obviously you need this cable from the wall to the power supply, and then yeah, from the power supply to the motherboard, yeah. But if you're talking about just the power on button cable, yeah, you can do without that, but you need to have the cable plugged into the wall basically. Alrighty. I might start stress testing this one. Oh. Okay, so that can run along. And we can disconnect that. So I'm just going to leave this one stress testing here on the floor. I have a high degree of confidence that this unit will pass the stress test with flying colours. So now we can turn our attention to this little one. What is this? That's better. So Gonna need another power cord. Luckily I've got a couple of these lying around. And you know, when I say a couple of them, you know I don't actually mean a couple of them. You know, I've probably got a whole box of them. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to clone our SSD onto our second SSD, and then I'm going to take the SSD out of this one, and we'll leave it there. I'll wait for the customer to bring his back. Where are we? It is generally really helpful to make sure that the drive is actually installed properly. That is generally going to work to your advantage. Okay. Okay. So we're going to go to clone disk. And I'm going to go down here to manual. I'll set all this up the way that I want to. So I want to go from our SSD NVMe and our source disk, which is our WD 1TB SATA SSD. So we've got three options here to replace this disk on this machine, which we're doing. We've also got to use on another machine or to use as a data disk. So it doesn't really matter. You can go as is or proportional. It's the same size drive. So the partition volume is currently being used by another application. There we go. Let's try that again. There was no disk 3 involved in this. So we want to go from the NVMe 1TB to our SATA 1TB. Now we'll be right. Alright, let's just check these comments. I didn't miss much. Alrighty, so if you just joined us, we're just doing a drive clone here with Acronis. So we'll be copying the drive to another SSD and we'll be replacing the SSD with a different SSD. But while that's going on, I'm going to have a quick break and get something for breakfast. Okay, we done yet? Disk was successfully cloned. Brilliant. So now we can shut it down. So we'll remove this 1 terabyte SSD. So this was where Windows was. Now if our clones worked correctly, we should be able to fire this back up. We should just boot into Windows. Reckon the place. And there we are, back in Windows. So that's all ready to have the correct drive put back in it. Then we can just clone from the original drive onto the new drive, and then we'll be done. And then all we have to do is the same thing on the second computer, and we'll have solved this little mix-up. So that is all I've got for you for now. Oh, we can have a look at how the stress test's going on the other one, I believe. Let's plug that in, and then we're like overheating massively, and I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? So I'm not going to plug anything in. So graphics card at 64 degrees, CPU sitting at 70. That's what I like to see. So we're about half an hour into the stress. So I'm not seeing any signs of an issue here from what I'm seeing. Maximum 74 degrees on the CPU. Graphics card sitting about 64 degrees. So yeah, no problem there at all. Alrighty, well. Well, I might leave it there because this was only going to be a short one this morning, just while we did those couple of things. You know, normally this is the sort of stuff I just do off the camera, but I thought, oh yeah, well, I say that I live stream all of my builds and repairs, so I should at least try to do most of them. It's just a lot of effort to set up the camera and do all that, especially when it's just like little things like running True Image and stuff like that, but I've never shown people True Image on this channel, so I figured I'd run it here this morning. And so all that has to happen, like I said, is this drive here is destined for another PC, and the drive in that PC is destined for this PC. So basically we need to run the same thing and yeah, clone it over. But what we're going to do with that, because so I've got this little M2 enclosure here that I can hook up. So what I can do is I can actually plug this SSD in here, and I can go in and clone clone that onto this one, so it's a little bit easier. But yeah, you get the idea. With that software, you can move your operating systems around. So if you've got a WD hard drive or SSD, you can use it for free if you're transferring to and from that WD hard drive or SSD, or you can buy the paid version, which gives you a heap more features than the free WD version. But it also costs money, so it's a subscription, like $30 something a year. It's not very expensive. It's a good tool to have. Alrighty, well, like I said, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this short video, and be